right? So looping statements, the logic which executes repeatedly till certain conditions are met. So you can use for and while in order to implement looping kind of logic. For example, let's take some scenario. For example, so use case print numbers from 1 to 10, right? This way, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so on, 10. Getting it? So here, what are you trying to do? You're printing the numbers from 1 to 10, and numbers will be increased by 1 to the previous value. So initial value is 1. So 1 will be incremented with 1 and becomes 2. 2 plus 1 becomes 3. 3 plus 1 becomes 4. That means you're printing the number with plus 1 logic repetitively till number 10. Getting it? Till number 10. So the logic to print the numbers plus 1 is executed repetitively till 10 is printed. Getting it? So this kind of logic you can implement using any of these two, for or while. Getting it? So this kind of logics are called looping kind of logics or looping state. Looping, looping kind of executions we can say. So how do you basically work with for and while? So we'll first learn something about some basic syntax about while and for. Then we'll take some use case. So let's talk about for. First we'll talk about while. Okay. While it's a looping statement which can be used to execute a logic till certain condition is met. Syntax for while. So while condition block of code. Okay. So this is the syntax for the while. Okay. So let's take some use case. Same use case, above one. Okay. So how do we implement this? How do we print this output using this while? So observe carefully. I'm declaring a variable. So you need to understand uh, the approach that you're supposed to follow to print these numbers. So first you need to print 1, next you need to print 2, 3, 4, 5, so on. Getting it? So first number that we want to print is 1. So I'll declare a variable as I. Okay, initial value. I'm declaring simply a variable as I and I'm initializing it with 1. Okay, initializing it with 1. Next, I'm declaring one more variable as num. I'm declaring another variable as num and initializing it as 10. So what is the maximum number? It is 10, right? So that's what I'm taking it here. Getting it? So now I'm using while. Okay, while. So what is the syntax? While condition right? Condition. So build the condition here. So what is the initial value of I? 1, right? So put I less than or equal to num. So observe carefully what is the approach that you want to do. First we want to print 1 and increment the value of 1 with 1. So 1 plus 1, 2. 1 plus 1 with 2. Likewise, increase the value every number with 1 and finally reach to 10. So what is the condition that we want to use is, we have taken 1 and we wanted to check the condition till number 10. So that is I less than or equal to num. That is 1 less than or equal to 10. Likewise, all the numbers less than or equal to 10, because our maximum limit is 10 here. Right? So this is the condition. So while the condition, and what we want to do, we want to execute some block of code. So block of code is nothing but we wanted to print something here, right? Say gs dot print. What do you want to print? This num value, right? So this num value. So print 1, not 1, I. So I has value as 1, and now we are printing I. So now I will be printed. That means 1 is printed for the first cycle. For the first cycle. So now observe carefully here. What's the value of I? 1. What's the value of num? 10. So check this while I less than or equal to num, that is 1 less than or equal to 10. Condition true. 1 less than or equal to 10. Condition true. Right? So whenever the condition is true, the control will go to the inside the while loop, and then it will print the syntax. gs dot print I. This is used to print the output. Okay. I, what are you printing? I is nothing but 1. So 1 will be printed. Okay. 1 will be printed this way. Now, once you print 1, next again you should check for next number. So in order to check for next number, you should increase the number by 1. So now what you want to do? I plus plus. I plus plus. That means incrementing the value of I. That is I equal to I plus 1. I plus plus is nothing but I plus 1. Getting it? It's nothing but I plus 1. So 1 plus 1 becomes 2. Comes 2. You're already from IT background, you already know this. During the academic sessions of BTech, might have already learned it, but this is just a repeat session for you. So I plus 1 is nothing but, what is the value of I? 1. 1 plus 1 is 2. So now I is 2. Getting it? So when I is 2, control goes to while loop again. Now again condition will be checked. So now I is 2, right? I is 2. So 2 less than or equal to 10. 2 less than or equal to 10. So condition true. Control goes to while loop. Print, it will print this value. gs dot print. What is the value of I? I is 2. Right? Next. So I is printed. Again, I is incremented by 1. So I plus 1, that is 2 plus 1. So that is 3. Now I is 3. So now I is 3. So control goes to while loop again. Condition will be checked. So condition is I less than num. That is 3 less than 10. Condition true. Then again the syntax will be printed. This will be executed. Syntax will be executed. I will be incremented. So I becomes I plus 1. So that is 3 plus 1. So that is 4. So I is 4. Control goes to while loop again. Condition will be checked. So 4 less than 10. So likewise, all the numbers will be printed one by one. So 9. So now, for example, I is 9. Okay. Now 9 less than or equal to 10. Condition true. Next 9 is printed here. Next I plus 1. I plus 1. 9 plus 1 becomes 10. Right? I becomes 10. 10 less than or equal to 10. Condition true. Again, printing I, that is 10. Next, after printing, again I will be incremented. I becomes 11. So 11 less than or equal to 10. Condition failed. Then comes out of the control comes out of the while loop. So this will be the output. Is this clear? That is simple syntax. Everybody clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So now we can try this. So what we can do, copy this script. So copy the script. So in the service now, go to scripts background. So go to scripts background, type scripts background, and then click on this. You will see a window here. Here you can execute any JavaScript. Here you can execute any JavaScript. See here, numbers are printed. Getting it? So that way you can test your script. So this way you can use while. Okay. So any kind of looping logic you have, you can use while. Understanding? So you can just remember the syntax and then write the logic accordingly. So next, let's discuss about for. Right. So let's discuss about for. It is similar to while. It is similar to while loop. Okay. So syntax will be something like this for variable initialization, condition, increment or decrement, block of code. Okay, block of code. So this is a syntax for the for loop. So for variable initialization, condition, and then increment or decrement, then block of code. So we'll see with an example. So let's take same use case. right? So how to implement this using for loop? So now observe carefully here. Take something called num. Variable num is equals to 10. So because our maximum number is 10, so I'm taking num as 10. Next, for variable I is equals to, so what is the initial value? 1. So first block here is variable initialization. So declare some variable as I and then initialize it with 1. Condition. So whatever the condition that we have used, same condition can be used here. So I less than or equal to 10, right? Next, increment or decrement. So what are we doing here? In the block of code, we are incrementing it. So you can also do similar thing here. I plus plus. Getting it? So this is the for loop syntax, and you can write the block of code here. So block of code is nothing but print. gs.print. What are you printing? I value. Getting it? So here, how many lines we have written here totally? Some 4 to 5 lines, right? 6 lines in total. So here we wrote only 4 lines. Okay. So because this is reduced here in the for loop. So now, so variable I equal to 1, I less than 10, I plus plus. So initially the I value is 1, I is equals to 1, right? And 1 less than or equal to 10, 1 less than or equal to 10. Yes, condition true. So I equal to 1, I less than or equal to 10, condition true, and then this will be printed. Block of code will be executed, that is printing value of I, that is 1. Next, I will be incremented by 2, that is 1 plus 1. Okay, that is I plus 1, which is nothing but 1 plus 1 is equals to 2, right? So now I becomes 2. I becomes 2. So again, when I becomes 2, condition will be checked again. Okay, condition will be checked, and the condition is true, that is 2 less than 10. I becomes 2. 2 less than 10, condition true. The block of logic will be executed, that is 2. Next, so once this is executed, again control goes to this increment or decrement. So now I becomes I plus 1, that is 2 plus 1, that is 3. Now I becomes 3. 3 less than 10, right? 3 less than 10, condition true. So 3 less than 10, condition true. Again the syntax will be executed. It is 3. Now control goes to increment or decrement. So I becomes 4. That is 3 plus 1. I becomes 4. Right? I becomes 4. 4 less than 10 or equal to 10. Condition true. So the syntax will be printed again. So this 4. Right? So likewise, all the numbers will be printed and comes to 9. For example, I is 9. I is 9. That is 8 plus 1. Right? So 8 plus 1, that is 9. So 9 less than or equal to 10. Condition true. Condition true. And this block of code will be executed, that is printing 9. Now 9 I becomes I plus 1, that is 9 plus 1 is 10. 10 less than or equal to 10. Condition true. Again this block of code will be executed. 10, right? So now I becomes, again I will be incremented, that is 10 plus 1, that becomes 11, right? So 11 less than or equal to 10. Condition failed. Control comes out of the for loop. So till here the execution will happen, and then after that execution will stop. Getting it? So you can try this as well. Copy, go to the background script. Right? So this is how you can check on the for and while. Many examples will be present in the internet and the tutorials. Please go through and practice, okay, on this for and while. Any questions?
No, sir. No, sir.
All right. So let's get into the actual development classes today. So with these basics, we can start. We'll do one more thing. We'll discuss on arrays again. So arrays, we have some of the methods in the arrays. So we'll discuss few of the examples. So anybody remembered? We discussed arrays, array type of variable. Anybody?
Yes, sir.
What does array mean?
You can store the multiple values.
All right. Array is a variable type which can store multiple data. Right? So for example, variable city is equals to, okay, I'm declaring a variable. So this is an empty array. It doesn't have any values. So if you're declaring something like open and close square brackets without any values in it, that's called an empty array. Now, so if you want to add some values into this array, you can use some methods called push. Okay. This method is used to push values into array, or you can say insert values into the array. So now how do I use this push? So this is an empty array. I want to push some values. So observe carefully, how am I using push? So I have few cities like Hyderabad, Bangalore, Chennai. I want to enter those values, insert those values into this empty array, right? So how do I do that? So I have some values like Hyderabad, Bangalore, Chennai. So these are the three values. So can use this way, array name. So array name dot push and then value. So this is how you can use the syntax array name dot push. then value, which value you want to, what value you want to push into the array. So same way here, city dot, so city is array name, right? City dot push, what value you want to push? Hyderabad, right? Bring it. So this is what city dot push Hyderabad. Next, so whenever you're using this syntax, so Hyderabad is pushed onto the first value. Getting it this way. Next, if you're doing city dot push Bangalore, so Bangalore is pushed into the second element. Okay. Next, similarly, Chennai, getting it. So you're able to push Chennai as a third element. Now you can try this. Okay, push method in order to push any elements into the array. So push is used this way. So most popularly used method in the arrays, pushing the elements into the array. Now city has three elements, Hyderabad, Bangalore, and Chennai. So now it has three elements. Now if you want to read these three elements, you can use index. You can use index. So something like this. Array name of index. Array name of index. So index always starts with 0. So index of first element is 0. Index of second element is 1. Index of third element is 2. So index is nothing but the position, but position here starts with 0, not with 1. So index always starts with 1. Position, index meaning position of the element. Index starts with 0. Okay. Now if you want to read Hyderabad, it's a first element, right? So you have to use this way. City of 0. Okay. City of 0. That means in this array city, which element? 0th indexed element, that is first element. So that is Hyderabad will be the output. City of 1. Don't give any space. City of 1. So it will be Bangalore. Next, city of 2. Start. Some problem, cursor changed. Okay, right. City of 2, that is Chennai. Everybody clear?
Yes, sir.
So you can check this. Go to background script. Right. So now I want to print all the elements of an array. Okay, currently I know I have 3 elements, but in real time, you may not know how many elements are there. You may not know how many elements are there. So now I want to print first element, then second element, third element, right? So all the elements one by one I want to print. One by one I want to print. So I can use for loops in order to print all the elements. I can use for loop in order to print all the elements. So you can use this concept, for loop concept here. Okay, so let us check how. So how many elements are there totally? 3 elements, right? So if you want to understand total number of elements here, you have a method here again. Okay, you have a method called length. You have a method called length. Length, that is array.length. Length is a method used to identify total number of elements in an array. So length is different, index is different. Okay, index means position, length means total number of elements, okay, in an array. So how can you use length? So array name dot length, array name dot length. So this is the syntax. Syntax is array name dot length. So observe carefully now. How many elements? 3 elements total. So how do I identify? So variable total elements is equals to array name dot length. So that is city dot length. Getting it? So if you want, you can print this. So total elements you can print. So you can use gs dot print. So what do I want to print? Total elements. So city dot length means it will give you the total number of elements in an array, that is 3. So 3 you're storing in this variable. So I want to print this variable. So whenever you're printing this variable, the value will be printed. See here, 3. Understanding? So now I'm able to print this. So I can comment this. Comment is nothing but this line will not be executed. Commenting means line will not be executed. Whichever the line is commented, that line will not be executed. So how do you comment? 2 forward slashes. 2 forward slashes. So this is for single line commenting. Okay. Now, so observe carefully. Use for. Okay. So first is initialization. Say variable I is equals to 1, not 1, 0. Okay. So I'm going to take the reference of index here because using index only we should be able to read these elements. Okay. Array of index value, array of index value, array of index value. So you know the array variable and we'll be knowing the index as well. So I'm using that index value to read each element in an array. Getting it? So now if I want to print first element, then I need to use city of 0, then city of 1, city of 2. Getting it? So here I am using the concept of that index now. So for variable I equal to 0, because index starts with 0. So variable I of 0, condition, okay, condition, that's nothing but index. So index, that is nothing but variable I. So what is the last index here? 2, right? 2, right? So now length will be 3, right here. So length is nothing but here. So this will give me 3. Give me 3. So this will give me 3. So if you put comments at the end of the line, see here, I've kept the comments at the end of the line here. So till here the syntax will be printed, and after that this syntax will not be printed. So wherever the comment lines are started, that syntax will not be printed. Before that comment lines, the syntax will be executed. Right? So this syntax will not be executed. Getting it? So intentionally I wrote this. Why comments are basically used to write some statements. To write some statements. So you see here, I'm saying within the comments I'm writing total elements equal to 3. So this is giving me some data or information. Okay, total number of elements here are 3. That's why. So looking at this, I can understand. I need not go through the script. I can simply look at the comment lines. So if there are any meaningful statements here, which will help me to understand the script better. Getting it? So now variable initialization, next condition. Condition is I less than. Okay. So index value should be looped in till the last element 0, 1, 2 till the last element. So but index is 3 here. So I can do something like this. So total number of elements is 3 here. So initially I is 0, I less than total elements. Okay, total elements. I less than total elements. Next increment, that is I plus plus. So this is, sorry, don't put semicolon, flower braces. Right. So variable I is equals to 0, I less than total elements, and then I plus plus. So this is the syntax. Now what are you supposed to do? You need to print the elements. So how do you print? Array of index value. Array of index value. What is the array here? City. City of index value. So index value I'm considering it as 0 here. That is nothing but I, not 0, I. So array of I. City of I. Getting it? So instead of am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Right. So now, so this is a format that I am supposed to use to print the elements. So city of index value. So I'm considering I for the index value. So what is the initial value of index? 0. So city of I, that is city of 0. So this will give me initial, it is city of 0. So what is city of 0? It is Hyderabad, first element. Right. So now, so city of I is nothing but Hyderabad. So print this value. So GS dot print. So when you use this GS dot print, then only the output will be printed, otherwise not. So what are you printing here? GS dot print city of I, that is first element I'm printing. So it is Hyderabad. So after printing this, control goes to this increment. So now I becomes I plus 1. That is nothing but 0 plus 1, right? 0 plus 1 is 1. So that is I is 1 now. I becomes 1. So 1 less than, what is the total number of elements? 3. I less than 3. So I less than 3. Condition true. Condition true. Again, the syntax will be executed. So that is GS dot print city of 1, because I is 1, right? I equal to 1. So 1 less than 3. So city of 1, that is nothing but second element, Bangalore. So first Hyderabad is printed. Bangalore next. So after printing this, control goes to this increment or decrement. So it is increment. So that is 2 plus I is 1, right? So 1 plus 1, that is 2. So 2 less than 3. Condition true. Again, the syntax will be printed. So city of 2. So it is Chennai. So Chennai is printed. Right. Now, after printing this, control goes to the increment or decrement. I becomes 2 plus 1. 2 plus 1. So I becomes 3. 3 less than 3. Condition failed. So when this condition failed, control comes out of this for loop. Okay. Control comes out of this for loop. So you can write some statement here. GS dot print and say something like end. So once control comes out of the for loop, this line will be executed. So that is end. Getting it? You can try this. So I'm commenting this. So I don't want to execute these lines. Okay. So this is my actual script, right? So I have multiple lines here. For single line, I can use this 2 forward slashes for commenting, but there are multiple lines. So I can use multi-line commenter. Forward slash star, then star forward slash. So this is multi-line commenter. So this is starting of the comment. This is ending of the comment line. So between whatever the statements that you write, everything is commented. They will not be executed. Okay. They will not be executed. Now you can run the script. All these unwanted commented lines will not execute. Only the output will be printed. Verify. See here. Clear, everybody?
Yes, sir.
Any questions? Anybody has any questions?
No, sir.
No, sir.
All right. Right. So this is how you can use for loops to process the arrays. So this kind of scenario, we'll be using it very frequently while writing the scripts. So we'll close it here today. So it will be too much again for you. Any doubts before we wind up?
No, sir.
Thank you. Practice. Okay. Very important. Administration topics, even if you practice by giving some gap, that's okay. Should be able to get through them. But development, you cannot do anything. You have to practice on the same day. Otherwise, you will lose the concept. Basically, on daily basis, you need to practice without fail. Okay. Right. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.